you ready? All right. Well, welcome everyone to the wedding ceremony of Jeff and Caitlyn. You may all be seated. Jeff suggested it. We're going to start the ceremony with a reading from C.S. Lewis.
If the old fairy tale ending, they lived happily ever after, is taken to mean they felt for the next 50 years exactly as they felt the day before they were married, it says what would probably never was nor ever would be true, and would be highly undesirable if it were. Who could bear to live in that excitement for even 5 years? What would become of your work, your appetite, your sleep, your friendships? But of course, ceasing to be in love need not mean ceasing to love. Love in the second sense, love as distinct from being in love, is not merely a feeling. It is a deep unity maintained by the will and deliberately strengthened by habit. They can have this love for each other even at those moments when they do not like each other, as you love yourself even when you do not like yourself. They can retain this love even when each would easily, if they allowed themselves, be in love with someone else. Being in love first moves them to promise fidelity. This quieter love enables them to keep the promise. It is on this love that the engine of marriage is run. Being in love was the explosion that started it.
So within the last month or so, I received 2 emails, one from Caitlyn and one from Jeff. And they were thoughts from both of you about what you wanted included in your words of commitment. And there were some things about how you became to be a couple. There were things that were important to you in terms of quotes, and also your thoughts and yearnings for the day. And I was very moved to read both of them. And so I want to highlight 2 things, one from each email. Caitlyn, you wrote about how you consider yourself an essentially lazy person at some level, and I don't think that about you, but maybe it's I don't know. But when I read that, I thought, I know that that's not completely true. I know that my mind is very happy with great stories and things, and that speaking for myself, I know that what makes me a lazy person. There's just a lot going on in here. I don't feel like I need to go outside of my head a lot. But what you appreciate so much about Jeff is that he has brought you out of that lazy, sort of introverted, dreamy person into the natural world, into these great hikes and the experiences you've had as a couple. And what I love about you pointing that out is the paradox of what it means to be in deep relationship with someone else. That the thing that you wouldn't do naturally on your own, a partner can bring you into those moments and show you something that you recognize and reflect on as, this is good for me, and I grow from it. The quote you sent me was, I fell in love like I fall asleep, slowly and all at once. And that in and of itself is a paradox. Think about us standing here, the fact that your parents have invested in this land, and the fact that your extended family has made a home in this region of the world for generations, and the slowness and the intentionality that your family has had to show in working the land and developing relationships and raising children, and how it's all collapsing in this moment, all at once. And that's emblematic of the paradox, I think, of lifelong partnership as well. It takes deliberation and intentionality for our love to continue to be nurtured. Jeff, you told a great story about the hike to Angel Wing Peak. Isn't that it? And how you and Caitlyn, through your friendship, were kind of finding out that there were deeper feelings, and so you worked up the courage on that hike to say to Caitlyn, I think we should be together. And so when you broached it on the hike, I think there was some arguing, there was some very strong feelings, right? Because Caitlyn, you were also navigating through another relationship you weren't sure about, you didn't know what your future was going to be, but when you got to the top, the way you described it, Jeff, was maybe Caitlyn was going to come around to this idea that you were meant to be together, and you're up there on the peak, and it was like you're in a Hollywood romance movie, where the breeze picks up, and her hair is blowing a little bit, and the music is swelling in the background, and this is the moment where you kiss Caitlyn and seal the deal, but you didn't. And then you even say, as if you could imagine, the music dies down, the breeze goes away, and you said to her, that was the moment I was supposed to kiss you, wasn't it? And you laughed about it, and you did kiss. But what you said in that writing, in that email, was that the very moment that Hollywood would have edited out, where you didn't kiss her was the moment you loved the best. Why? Because it was real. And you didn't come off the mountain and move in together. You didn't get married right away. You had to work hard to keep reaching for one another to reach this moment. So yeah, Jeff, what's real about marriage is the moments that Hollywood edits out. Can I get an amen? We're constantly sold this nonsense that when you find your soulmate, you'll intuitively understand one another at every moment. You'll know what everyone is thinking at all times. That's not the truth of marriage. Every day sometimes you have to make a choice about loving your partner, and that comes from those real moments that ironically bring more beauty and humor and the ring of truth. So that was a powerful thing you said. Caitlyn said I could shape some of these words in a little bit of a spiritual context. So I'm a Lutheran pastor, and that's my gig. So I'm going to take a risk on a little bit of this. Is that I hope that you two find your third partner in your marriage. And I'm not talking about a polyamorous relationship. Right. Well, that was funny. Yeah, I know. But I'm talking about a spiritual partner. And what I know about you, Caitlyn, is that you have characters and stories that are alive in your mind and your heart that you orient your life around. People that inspire you, whether they're real or fictional. And Jeff, I assume the same thing about you. There are people in your life that inspire you and you orient your worldview around. And lifelong partnerships need another partner. And look, you've called us together, your family and your friends. And so I hope you'll allow us to be your higher power as you move through your partnership, and that not just today, but that you can call upon us throughout your marriage. And that higher power that it's meant to serve something. And clearly will serve this partner who's about to join your relationship. And I can't wait to see how you two nurture this child with such love and creativity, and the family and friends will also be a part of that. So you're already oriented your marriage into serving this new life. I also look forward to how you as a family unit serve the world, because I think any marriage that's worth anything also shares its love with its community and with the wider world. So that's something I also hope for you as a couple. So thank you again for the honor of speaking on one of the most important days of your life. And go forward with my blessing, as I know you go forward with the blessing of your family and friends. Thank you.
This is a reading from Terry Pratchett's book, The Thief of Time. The first words that are read by seekers of enlightenment in the secret gong-banging, Yeti-haunted valley near the hub of the world are when they look into the life of Wen, the eternally surprised. The first question they ask is, why was he eternally surprised? And they are told, Wen considered the nature of time and understood that the universe is, instant by instant, recreated anew. Therefore, he understood, there is in truth no past, only a memory of the past. Blink your eyes, and the world you see did not exist when you closed them. Therefore, he said, the only appropriate state of the mind is surprise. The only appropriate state of the heart is joy. The sky you see now, you have never seen before. The perfect moment is now. Be glad of it.
I love you so much. I love that from day one you were family to my family and best friend to my friends. You love the mountains, and then you love Minnesota so much, and that you brought me back home. I'm so excited to be a parent with you and to spend our lives together. I love you so much. We'll wear multiple shoes.
Should I cut them? Alright. Jeff, the first memory I have of you is while sitting on the porch at the mini glacier dorm. I watched you, this bearded guy in a beanie, tell an outrageous story about a mountain goat. I cherish this memory because it speaks not only to your clear-headedness, but also your passion for a good story. The first moment I realized you were important was when we hiked up Firebrand Path. I remember hiking up that steep trail, and I kept thinking, if I can just get to the top of the path and get a hug from Beth, everything will be okay. A little strange because I'd only known you for a week. From the moment I met you, I felt instantly comfortable with you. And whenever I am with you, I feel safe. No matter what happens in life, I know that if I can just get a hug from you, it'll all be okay. The first time I realized I was falling for you was on our hike to Otokomi. We were just about to reach the lake when you said that you'd been through lots of mountain ranges, but you felt there was something magical about Glacier. It was with that sentence I was gone. To be with somebody who has a history with that park is so special, and the fact that we met there makes it all the more beautiful. I am so grateful to share that past with you. The wilderness is in our souls, and it's part of who we are as a couple. We have experienced so many beautiful places together, and I know because of you, we will make this a priority for years to come. The first time I knew I loved you, we were sitting on the stoop in West Glacier. In the previous week, we'd spent pretty much every waking hour together and had just finished the most glorious day in Fullbridge. It was practically perfect. And all I knew in that moment was that I did not want to spending the key word in this sentence. Did not want to stop spending every moment with you. Everything about being with you has always and will always feel right. I feel so lucky to be standing here today telling you how much I love you. You've changed me, and I'm so much stronger, happier, and better for it. I can't believe I get to spend my life with someone who loves Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings, but also Grey's Anatomy, and Love Actually, who listens to Monsters and Men but will dance with me to Call Me Maybe, who nerds out over wine and food but loves rock climbing and hiking just as much. You value and commit to beautiful places and significant experiences, and you enjoy life in a way that I admire, and I can't wait to continue enjoying life with you. Baby, no matter how much more I say, and I will be done soon, it won't feel like I'm telling you enough how much I love you, because I love you so very much, unconditionally and without hesitation. All I can say is thank you for being you, and for being here, and for loving me too. Alright, take a minute here. Okay. Caitlyn, do you take Jeff to be your husband and partner? Do you promise to love him, respect him, and care for him? Do you promise to share your life with him from this day forward? Jeff, do you take Caitlyn to be your wife and partner? Do you promise to love her, respect her, and care for her? Do you promise to share your life with her from this day forward? I do. I think you can ring this one. I go first.
Your ring.
Oh, man! It's pretty.
I get the diamond!
Okay. With this ring, I promise to love you unconditionally and without hesitation, to share with you all of life's challenges, joys, and happy surprises, to value and respect the home we have built together, and to continue to fill that home with love, laughter, and compassion.
With this ring, I promise to love you unconditionally, without hesitation. Unconditionally, without hesitation. To share in life's joys, challenges, and happy little surprises. To respect and value the home that we've created together, and to continue to fill that home with love, laughter, and compassion.
By the power vested in me by the state of Minnesota, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Caitlyn, you may kiss my brother.
God. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.